Hi, everybody. Welcome to Steel Roses Podcast, a podcast created for women by women. My name is Jenny, and this is episode 13, part 2, that's airing this week. Very excited for this part 2. It's a step removed from what we posted on our previous week where we were focusing in on education. We're continuing on with our interview with our cousin Lauren, but actually in this episode we're talking all things wedding, as she is recently engaged, newly engaged in the past year, and is really focusing in on planning and executing her wedding, which impressively enough, you're going to hear on the episode, she is so thorough and organized that she's pretty much done and kind of just like tying up loose ends at this point, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. But you'll hear more from her on the episode. We hope you enjoy it. And then next week we'll have a fresh set of episodes for you to listen to. So enjoy, and we'll catch you all next week as well. Thank you.
That's a good segue because I was like, Mom, when my mom has a bigger place, so Lauren and her parents and her family, like they'll come down and stay with Mom, and you know they're siblings. Her dad and my mom are siblings, so they get to spend time with each other. But it's been like a minute because they had your brother's wedding, and now they're planning your wedding. So they're like, we're not able to go anywhere.
I know. They actually said that yesterday. They were like, we haven't even been down the shore. I was like, really? I was like, that's kind of shocking.
It's so busy, and especially Joe and I, we have had like so many weddings. I guess we're at that age now where all our friends are getting married.
Everyone's getting married. Yeah.
We've had weddings, rehearsal dinners, you name it, we've had it. So it's been crazy.
Well, which is a good segue because that's what we wanted to get into our next topic. Because we want to switch gears. Lauren has been engaged since December, like she said. So she's recently engaged, and we want to just, Lauren, how's the engagement stage? Are you loving it? Like, is it stressful?
I was telling Jenny, I feel like I haven't even had like a minute to really truly enjoy it because we're going through house renovations right now, and our air conditioner.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
So we're like, we're on a serious budget over here. So I feel like I've been doing things that are like not wedding related, but also loving being engaged. I was the bride that the second, the almost bride. The second I got engaged, I was looking at venues. I was.
Oh yeah, you picked your venue within like
how quick?
It's probably like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were like kind of shocked.
Really? I picked my venue. Well, we got engaged in December, and conveniently, I was off from work for Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
So I felt like I would never get that time where I could take him and get him to go with me to venues when I had the time off, and my parents had the time off, so they came. So it just worked out, and I booked the venue, I booked the photographer, the band, the videographer. What else is there? There's so much stuff.
Flowers. Yeah, I can't. I have to say that. I have to say this. I did event planning for a bit in part of my career, but I never, for wedding stuff, like when I got married, it was kind of like we're pregnant, we're going to get married now. So I never actually shotgun. And it was comical because I was very much like, and I always knew that I had always told people like, when I get married, it's going to be one of those things where I invite you to my house for like a barbecue, but it's actually a wedding. Like that was always my vibe.
Yeah.
So I never had that opportunity though to ever really plan it because we got pregnant, surprise.
Yes.
And my husband was very much like, we're going to get married. Like, that's it. Like we're having a baby. Let's get married before the baby comes, before my little guy comes. So we never got to do it. And my wedding was more of a, hey, calling my parents and saying, hey, are you off next Friday? Like, let's go down to the courthouse. And everybody was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So give me like the deets, like I don't know that much about it from like the bride's perspective. Like, do you have a book? Do you have a wedding planner book that you're using? Like, how are you organizing everything?
I'm so organized. I guess it's because the teacher in me, like I'm always organized. So it's mostly we did get books, a lot of books actually people gave us, but I don't really use them. I have a folder on my Google account, wedding. We have the budget, we have the list, the vendors, everything like that. It's definitely stressful now, I feel like, compared to just going to the courthouse and getting
I know, because my wedding cost like $100, guys. So like,
well, I think that's the most stressful part is the money aspect of everything, like how expensive it is to get flowers. Like flowers are thousands of dollars. Like it's insane. But the flowers are a lot, the bands, like it's everything, every little thing adds up, and it's crazy. But I am enjoying it. I am loving being engaged, and we just sent out our save the dates, so that was the big thing that I wanted to check off,
which was gorgeous. I like.
Thank you.
And Melissa, by the way, you're muted, just so you know.
What the hell?
I kept seeing you try to chime in, and I was like trying to wave you down, and you weren't paying attention.
I have to call my daughter's doctor, and they open, like, if you don't get the first call in, you're not going to get an appointment.
You're not going to get no pediatrician. Lauren, wait until you have kids. Pediatrician visits are like hours. We digress.
I'm sorry, I muted myself to call, but I have to call, like, I have to wait 5 more minutes to call, so I'm setting an alarm. Anyway,
go ahead.
But Lauren, you're gonna have a 1.5 year engagement total, right?
Yes. Yeah. And
mine was, I was engaged for 2. Well, Matt and I, it was ridiculous. We should have gotten engaged. We were engaged we were together for 15 years. I'm like, buddy, it's time. You either know or you don't know.
You're pulling an Uncle David there, because the long-standing joke in the family, Lauren, was like how long your parents dated, by the way, before they got engaged.
Yeah,
that's been like a topic for like.
What did they? I think you might have beat them though, Melissa.
Yeah, we did. We had. I think they were dating for what was it, like 11 years or something?
Yeah, I think it was like 10 years.
Yeah, it was something like that.
We have them beat. There's my alarm, guys. We have them beat because I think we got engaged year 15, but we also got together at 17. So
that's true. That's true. Which while Melissa, I don't know, Melissa, if you need to mute again to make the call, but Lauren, what's really funny is I remember when Melissa and Matt I remember when they first started dating. Like I was at her house, and I remember we were
partying at my parents'.
Oh, what the heck?
No,
I'm like, hold on.
Who only knows at this point?
I'm like almost 40, but I'm still like, shh, don't say anything about that. Anyway, Melissa.
Anyway, we'll edit it out. Don't worry. Let's start again.
I was with Melissa, and I remember she was like telling me about this boy that she liked, and she's like, yeah, I don't know, he's a football player, I don't know, like we were opposites. Yeah, like total opposites. Like Melissa was like this big man on campus, whatever.
Like, calm yourself.
It was so funny. It was, but I was there the weekend that they like officially got together, and I was like,
oh, you were there at the start of their love story.
I really was.
My point was that so we had a 2-year engagement, and I kind of like it because like it gives you time to like plan everything, but then enjoy the engagement stage, which I think you're doing, Lauren. So I really like that.
Yeah. I mean, we knew that we wanted to have the time to like enjoy our engagement and not rush to get married. We're not in a rush because we are like still in our 20s, like still can enjoy and like not rush to. I know that some people are under like time constraints, but like we're enjoying our time being engaged.
That's so great.
Before you got engaged, I wanted to ask you too, did you feel like, because you were 26 when you got engaged, is that about right?
Yep.
Did you feel, because I remember when I was 25, 26 and everybody started getting engaged and married and having kids, like all my friends had babies by the time they were 25, and I was like the last man standing kind of thing. And every time I would go places, everyone would be like, oh, what's wrong? Like, you don't want to get married? Like, why are you single? And I was like, I don't know. I'm focused on my career. What the hell? Like, there is that, like, you know, and honestly, about your age range, like, that is the time when people start to really pressure you to be like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you married yet? Like, what's happening? Aren't you going to have kids? Like, blah, blah, blah.
Well, and I think and to just jump on Jenny's thought process, I do think women get pressured more at this age because men, it doesn't really happen. Like, they could go to 40 and, you know what I mean? Like 35, 40 before like people start really putting pressure on them. But I think around that 30 spot is when women really feel that pressure.
Let's take a quick break.
Are you interested in podcasting but not sure where to start? My name is Jenny Benitez, and I'm here to help guide you through your podcast launch and maintenance. Check out the link in the episode description for Podcasting Unboxed, your comprehensive startup guide. I am very excited to work with you.
I do think it's come a long way, though. Like, now people, I feel like, are waiting a while to start a family and are waiting a while to get married. So I didn't feel it so much anymore, but because I still have a lot of single friends, a lot of friends that are still out and, you know, enjoying their 20s. So I felt like I didn't feel that pressure as much, but I knew I wanted to be married and I wanted to be a young, fun mom. So I put the pressure on myself.
You did it to yourself.
Yep.
But we're aging ourselves because that means like things have changed since we've been.
Which honestly, I'm happy to hear that though. Yeah, because
it really is.
I remember getting like bummed out about it and being like, damn, like, well, and then I met my husband like right after that, so it didn't matter anymore anyway. But like, I remember being like really bummed out about it and made to feel like there was something wrong with me for not being settled by the time I was 25. And I was like, but I just figured out my career path. Like I was at that point, I was working like, you know, a crazy person. I was doing like 12-hour days because I loved my job. And I was like, I really want to have a really cool profession and I want to really get into my career. So to me, that was the priority for a really long time. And I didn't want to like be like saddled to anybody because I wanted to travel for work. I really wanted, and I was like, I just want to do my own thing. And then I started feeling bad about myself and I like drank the Kool-Aid and was like, oh my God, I have to like settle down right away. Like, what am I doing here? And like, no, that's not the case. I'm so happy that that's not still a thing or as much of a thing.
No, it's really not, which is great. Like I feel like so many people are just like loving their jobs and traveling and
that's good.
You know, enjoying their 20s, which I think is super important too.
Yeah, definitely. Although I will say this, I know your mom has bothered the boys, your brothers a bit. So Lauren's not an only child. She has two older brothers. And I know for sure Aunt Michelle has been like, come on guys, clock's ticking.
Yes. And now she's finally getting her grand.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Lauren's going to be an aunt in like almost 2 weeks. We're getting a week.
Next week.
Yeah. Down to the wire. I am very excited for the new addition to the Deo family.
Getting another girl. I feel like there's so many girls in our family.
I will say
for our listeners, our generation was predominantly boys. Like literally Lauren, Jenny, and I are the only girl cousins in the family, and the rest are boys. So it has done a flip, and now Jenny has the one boy, and the rest have been girls. And statistically, we were like, how did that happen?
And Vicente was so bummed out yesterday at the family party because we had a pool, and then I brought out the unicorn like sprinkler, and the girls were like loving it, and they were jumping in the pool. And at one point, Vicente came over to me. He's like, ugh. He's like, Mommy, this just feels like a girl party. And I was like, I'm sorry, kid. I don't know I'm so sorry, buddy.
Oh, well, sorry. If Joe had it his way, we're only having boys. So I
don't know if you can predict that. But he better be careful though, because if he's saying that a lot, he's probably going to get a bunch of girls. I'm just saying.
I know. That's what I told him.
Because the universe kind of will flip that on you and be like, guess what?
You're having all girls now. Oh God.
Lauren, we did want you to weigh in because I know this is like a big sort of wedding topic right now. Are you doing, so we want you to weigh in on the debate. Are you doing first look pictures or are you waiting until after the ceremony? Because that's like a stickler for some people.
So, originally I had my heart set on, you're not seeing me until I walk down the aisle. Like, it's not happening, whatever. I was like set, like I'm not changing my mind. And then we started to talk to our photographer, and she said, look, it's ultimately up to you, like whether or not you're going to do it the first look or not. But I'm just saying, like, if you do the first look, like you're able to actually get a majority of your wedding photos done before the ceremony even starts, so that after the ceremony you can actually like enjoy your wedding. You can go to your cocktail hour, you can talk with your guests, and like if I didn't do the first look, all your cocktail hour and all that would be spent taking pictures. So then I was like, oh, you might be right. Like
that's why Matt and I decided to do it too, because we were like, hey, we're, we want to be with our families and we want to be in the moment and not just be, and I'm kind of picture obsessed. So I was like, right? Like Lauren is too. So I was like, I want to get the pictures that I want, but I don't want to be crammed for time. And I also think like another side silver lining is that moment that you have together is really intimate. It's like you and him, and and Jenny was there for mine. But
that's true. I was
she had to help me walk out of there. It was so cold.
I'm always around. And actually I was going to say something along the same lines. Like, I had heard about that too. Like, and that started like, way back when like my people I knew were getting married. And I remember having that same feeling where I was like, well, no, like wait until you're down the aisle. Like that's so impactful. And you're going to get that picture of him on that, like if someone took a picture, like, but then like, it makes sense though, because then you do have like that moment, that brief moment to yourselves where it's just the two of you and you get to share that together. And that to me is like, I feel like I'd be bawling if I was doing that.
I was worried that it wouldn't be like this emotional, intimate moment if he didn't see me for the first time walking down the aisle. But now that I was talking with my photographer and everything, I think it's going to be even better doing a first look and just
I do too.
Me and him. And, I still think he'll hopefully get emotional seeing me like walk down the aisle with my dad. And like, it's a different like vibe than the first look, but I think it's like important to have that moment.
That first look is almost like, cause even like for me, like granted, I was at a courthouse. It's not like I was doing anything fabulous, but when Chris came through the door, he was definitely terrified, but also he was like, but also you could see on his face, like the, that moment where they take that breath in, and, we're not romantic people here in this house. Like that's not our vibe, but it was like that moment still was that had that special. Yeah.
But not like, he reminds me a lot of my dad in a sense that like my dad's actions, like the way he portrays himself every day speaks more than like those little like romantic moments of
Lauren.
Matt's the same way. Matt is
right here.
Like Joe I forget like every day that he loves me, but not through like
oh my god,
there's flowers. Like
I will say, like when we were living up north and we were living in an apartment building, I used to be touched when Chris would save me a parking spot, and I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, thank you for thinking of me."
It's the little things in life. Like, hey, I got your coffee creamer at the store. I'm like,
yes. Oh my god, isn't that so sweet? I know that's so silly, but it's those little. To your point, like, and it's interesting. I because I didn't know that about your dad, but like, it's those little things where like when they remember something that is important to you, that's like really small, like. I don't really need that grand gesture, but if you remember my favorite coffee creamer, like you have me for the rest of my life, basically.
We're really getting married, yeah.
Now we're getting married. That's it. Well, that's also Chris used to tell me, like, as soon as you master this recipe, like I cook majority of like Ecuadorian food, like that's where we're at. And he used to always tell me that, like, all right, you got the rice and beans down, that's it. Now we're good. You know, like things like that. It's cute.
Of course.
But I'll wrap up the wedding talk, but we also want to ask Lauren, because we're not in the day-to-day wedding planning with you. So is it going to be a huge wedding? You know, we have to preface for our listeners that don't live in New Jersey. Weddings are like a thing in New Jersey. Like I remember when I moved to Miami and when Matt and I got engaged, and I was like, yeah, we're keeping it really small. We're only having like 95 people. And they're like people I would talk to from, like, they were from Ohio or from different places. And they'd be like, what world is 100 people small? And I was like, no, that for North Jersey, that's family. That's a small wedding. Like small. That's just our family.
It's like intimate family wedding is 95
right?
people.
Yeah. It's insane. Yeah, we're looking at about like our guest list is like 190.
Yeah. Which is that's average, right? In New Jersey, North Jersey, that's average.
Yeah, we were talking to some friends. They're having like over 400 people. I'm like, how do you know that many people?
I don't know that many people.
Like, I don't have that many friends. Like,
I don't know anybody. I have like 10 people.
Was Michael's wedding?
He was about 220, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like, I feel like around what we'll.
That feels average.
Yeah. But, which is crazy because again, you talk to somebody like they're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "No, that's a average,
an
small
average size." Yes, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, we're hoping we'll probably send out about 200 and maybe like 175 we'll end up with.
Yeah, attrition. Yeah,
we're all excited because
yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, for real.
Literally, I think the couple like Matt and I have had like 2 or 3 date nights since Mia's been born, and they tend to be weddings. So we're looking for her to
I'm excited for your next date night in 2024. In 2024 is your next date.
Pencil us in 2024. That's funny.
Okay, so not in the wedding planning line, but in the post-wedding honeymoon. Are you going to do like are you going to go all out? Like I know Mike and Liz went like all out. So I'm curious. Yeah.
No, I cannot be on a plane for that long.
I would have a panic attack.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like flying. So like if I'm being on a plane for that long, it's not a pretty sight. We're hoping to do, Joe's never been to Italy, so we're hoping to do Italy and then go to Greece because neither one of us have been to Greece.
I have heard fabulous things. One of my coworkers who actually will eventually be a guest went to Greece and it was like mind-blowing, she said.
I'm so excited. We're also not, I don't know if this is not traditional, but we're not going right after the wedding. I feel like I need some time to like regroup and like catch, like I feel like it's just like a whirlwind of emotions. I'm going to be exhausted. So we're getting married in June and we're planning it for August. So a couple of months.
Oh, that's great.
I actually really like that.
Yeah.
And you get like somebody had told me once that there's like honeymoon discounts.
Oh, also
yeah, and that is within a year. I don't know if it was a particular travel agent, but look into it because the person had told it was a woman I used to work with. She said that if you're within a year of your wedding date, you get like honeymoon perks or honeymoon discounts. Yeah, look into that as you're looking to book stuff.
Yeah, I know it's not going to be cheap, so any discount we can get.
You better add that to your registry so people could just like pop money into a honeymoon fund.
Like excursions.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I mean, we have our house together. There are like a few things we've thought of that we'll probably need, but like other than that, like I have most of the stuff that would be on a registry. So I feel like I'm definitely going to add in that honeymoon fund on there.
Yeah, you should, honestly.
Give.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And like, I love that there's a little bit break, because I remember like the night of the wedding, like I just wanted to pass out. Like, you're so exhausted.
Yeah.
And like, some people go like literally a day or two later. I was like, I don't know how you can do that. Now, granted, so we were supposed to go do Italy, France, and Spain for our honeymoon in May. And then COVID hit in March, and I got pregnant, and then we just never.
I wanted to tell you something. I was literally sitting here going, wait, did Melissa go on a honeymoon? I was like really trying to think, but that's right. Surprise, baby Mia.
Thank you, COVID. And thank you to our daughter.
A honeymoon.
We never took a honeymoon, so we're like, we're gonna go, but now Mia will either have to come with us, or we're really gonna have to wait like a couple years, and then we can leave her with grandparents or something.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, no, I love that, Lauren. That's so great.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
So we talked through education, we talked through wedding, and I think we already talked to you about your foodie Instagram, right? We already went there. We covered that off up front. I'm actually really excited to look at it because I love that kind of thing.
So let's plug it again. So it's the_fancy_foodies. But Lauren will show you great recipes. She's a fantastic cook. I think she's gonna take over, because like it went from like at our family events, it went from like grandma cooking everything with my mom, and then it was really like Lauren, your mom, and my mom cooking
they stepped in
a good portion of it. And now it's like the baton's going to get passed again. So Lauren will definitely be in the mix because she's a fantastic cook. But she'll show you recipes. She'll show you great places to eat. So not only is she family, but aside from that, like Lauren really does find the best places to eat. So especially if you're in New Jersey or they frequent Florida a lot, go and check it out. So the_fancy_foodies on Instagram.
Thank you. Yes. I definitely need that spin class, though. How much we eat,
but you gotta get up with your dad.
I gotta do something. But yes, go follow. Cooking is like my passion.
Oh, Lord, it's been like super fun having you on, because normally Melissa and I are like either 5 a.m. or 10 p.m. and then we're like totally out of our heads when we're recording. So this is actually like a mid-morning record. We can actually think as people. It was such a pleasure having you on. Like, we're super excited about this episode. The family's really excited, by the way. We told them yesterday we're recording, so they're like waiting for the release. For everyone listening, we're really grateful for all of you guys who've been following us weekly and downloading weekly and kind of sticking with us. We love it. We love hearing from you. So continue messaging us. Again, our Instagram is @SteelRosesPodcast. You can find us on our website as well, SteelRosesWomen.com, and SteelRosesPodcast@gmail.com if you want to shoot us an email. Melissa, anything on your side closing out?
No, we're just so grateful. Lauren, we were really so excited to have you as our first official guest of the podcast. Yay. And Grandma was super excited, Mom said, so she'll definitely be listening. So it's just nice to keep it in the family a little bit.
Yeah,
so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great. It was so fun.
So we will see you all next week. Be sure to tune in. And like Jenny said, reach out to us if you want to hear about a certain topic or just give us some feedback.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.